And I am cutting another field. Back to doing a little 7 to 8 acre field that I used to do years ago. It's up for sale right now, so I'm more or less doing the realtor a favor and the new old landowners. I was haying it up till about 2023 for a couple that had horses here, and they owned the property next door, so I do about a couple acres over there too. But in 23 it was so wet, if you didn't get anything cut the second week of May, it rained straight through August into September, and so it wasn't, and I was still doing dry hay, small squares then, and there was just no way you could get hay until September, and by then it was pretty much worthless. And the owners called me. I mean, there was a few, non-rainy days here and there through the summer, but between the lack of dry enough weather to make dry hay and then just saturated ground, there was just nothing happening. And so the owners called, and I refused to cut it. They said, "Oh, you got to cut it. I want hay, blah blah blah." Because I used to split the amount of the bales with them. And I said, "No, it's just too wet. There's just no way. I'm not risking. This field is wet in a dry year, unless, like this year where there's a drought. With the amount of rain that fell this spring, if it hadn't been for droughty weather, there's no way I'd be having any success right now. Because in a dry year, this field is wet." And so in 2023, I just said, no way, there's no way I'm going to risk getting my equipment stuck and things broken and ruining the field. And so I noticed that they brush hogged the field, or maybe had somebody else cut it. Anyway, it is a lot rougher than I ever remember. It is hammering me. It's as rough as the fields were that I just did. These are even worse. And the same old, I'm slowly remembering where all the pitfalls are, because this field again is also cut through with a lot of ditches and crenellations and weird little fissures in the ground and drainage issues. So, and it's it's late first cut. It's not the worst, certainly not the worst grass I've ever cut off of here. And it's not the worst grass I've ever cut at all. So, and I'm grateful for it. It will feed the dry cows and the calves and the beef critters just fine. And it may even, with the right, we'll get it nutrient tested. It may even work for the dairy cows with some supplementation, because there is, good amount of clover in the bottom and plenty of vetch. And in certain sections there are some grasses that haven't gone by yet. But predominantly, there's a lot of goldenrod and weeds in this field at this point. And a lot of that has to do with the compaction that occurred. It was always a kind of a goldenrod-y field anyway, but the compaction that obviously with all these ruts and dips and things from cutting it wet, it's as soon as you get compaction, you increase your weed load. And the previous, in the fall, owners had come to me, the new owners had come to me and asked me to cut it this spring, but for some reason in the meanwhile, over the winter, they decided to sell the property again. So they didn't really want that, and they told me to contact the realtor, and that's why I'm doing it now. I've gotten in contact with the realtor, because they're selling it again, and they've moved away from here, so they're not even around. So the previous owners that I used to do some hay for and hayed this for 5 or 6 years, I can't remember. They don't want any manure spread on it. They wouldn't even spread their own horse manure for some reason, and they didn't want. They wouldn't have minded if I'd fertilize. In fact, they offered to fertilize it. They borrowed my fertilizer spreader, but it turns out they didn't spread over the whole field. They just spread on the 2 acres that they wanted hay from, and not everywhere else. This whole field needs, I can just tell from the amount of what's growing here, that these fields need a massive amount of lime. So we'll see what happens. I'm cutting it this year. I would be grateful if we could get it going forward, and if the new landowners would want it for, want me to cut it for them, and maybe want to improve the quality. We could use lime, certainly use some flattening out and having some ditches filled in, some drainage channels rerouted, some things like that. I drove all the way down to the bottom. The other thing is this, it's being sold as raw land right now for development or something. But the thing is, from the road down, there's quite a steep slope. I mean, it's all uphill from here, and then there's a little tiny bit of uphill on the other side of a ditch. I don't understand. I suppose you could build up near the road if you were going to build anything, but it's also wet up there. It's going to take a lot of effort to put a house somewhere on this land. It's been a field since the 1700s, as far as I know. There have been no structures here, and it's been farmed, you know, through the 80s into the 90s, and then whenever the previous landowners bought it. So this has always been some kind of field. It's been in better condition. I know from talking to other people that this used to be, you know, pretty pristine farmland, but now it's kind of hammered, largely because some landowners don't want to take the time or effort, or don't want to support the farmers who put in the effort. So yeah, grateful to have it. Happy to be doing it today. I should be able to knock this out in a short time. Like I was saying, we'll see what happens when I'm done mowing, what time it is. I'd like to come back and rake it today just to get that out of the way. And also, this doesn't need for silage. I don't want this any drier. It's I don't want to make hay. I'd rather have this as, you know, I don't want to lose any more nutrients out of this than I have to. I would expect about 20 bales out of this field, just given the thickness, but that's hard to say. I'm no great judge, but given the amount of acreage and the similarity to the land that I just did, there could be as many as 20 bales, which for me, by myself, tomorrow, to get out of here and haul, it's just about a 5-minute trip back to the farm, but you know, to haul bales back to the farm and unload them there for wrapping, it would be a long, long day if I have to rake as well, just to get it all in. And I don't really want another really long day. I mean, during the summer, all my days are long. It just depends on, do I really want to work hard work 16 hours a day for 7 days a week, or can I, you know, maybe have a couple of 10-hour days with a little bit of a break in between. So we'll just have to see. I remember this field used to take me 3 days. Well, I would do it in three, because I was making dry hay. I would do it in 3-day blocks. I would cut a section and then let it dry down, give it a day, cut another section, and then rake. I had to ted the hay, so I would do a couple of sections, ted them, rake them, cut another section, bale the first section that I did, and then go back and ted and rake and bale. And it would take a week to do this whole 7, 8 acre field, given you know, I was always nervous about equipment breakdowns because my stuff was old and janky, and then weather conditions and stuff. So it would take a long time to do this field. I would be grateful to be able to do all of it in 2 days. If I had been able to, you know, I was just dragging today, and I milked while Allison was off the farm, and I didn't get out here till about 2 o'clock. Had I gotten out here at 10 this morning, I would have considered coming back here with the baler and just do it in 1 day, just get it done with. But that's kind of why I'm thinking I might rake it today, just to get that much more done. But I just have to see where Allison's at when I get back to the farm and how I'm feeling. Right now, exhaustion is sort of set in. Pushing hard because I lost that month while the baler was busted. Waiting for parts and all the time fixing it. So, just kind of playing it by how I feel. I really don't want to tap myself out. I gotta say, the jury was out on the mower, the new mower. I like how easy it is to hook up, how robust it is. It's simple to use. It's a lot better than my old drum mower, the Kuhn. But the jury was out until I until I got into these bigger fields and being able to do them all day. You know, being able to cut, well, the ground conditions are what's limiting me. I could actually cut as fast as I could drive. So this mower is rated for something like 10 acres an hour, but that's perfectly smooth, flat ground, no hills, no lumps and bumps. You know, big rectangular field. You can make a lot of time in a big rectangular field. This is quite a different story. I'm only able to go about 3 miles an hour, and that's beating me to a pulp. So being able to do 3 acres an hour or so is great. That's more than twice what my little mower and my old tractor, even my little mower and this tractor, were able to do. And so I was just remembering that this section that I'm cutting right now used to take me all day to cut. I mean, if I was lucky, I'd get out here at about 11 o'clock and I'd be finished by 5 or thereabouts, just because it is that big and I was cutting that slow. I would not want to try and mow this with a disc mower. I mean, yes, I love the drum mower, and these fields like this are why I have a drum mower. Because a disc mower, I'd be busting hubs, and it's really, disc mowers are very much fragile. Too fragile for a field like this right now, in its current state. Now, improved, yeah, I don't have a problem with disc mowers. I like how they cut, I like how fast they cut. I like the new disc mowers that are out there, and I would definitely consider on an improved field getting a disc mower. And I'm trying to get an accurate read on how many acres it is right now using GPS, just so I have an idea of what I'm doing in a day. But ideally, if this had been a 20-acre parcel, I would have considered thinking about buying it, but they want a ridiculous amount of money for this 20-acre parcel. Like 3 times what the going rate for in town for raw land is, unimproved. So yeah, I don't think we'd be buying this at that rate. Plus, it's only an 8-acre field and it's pretty rough and nasty. All right, I'm gonna have to pay attention because this next section, if I recall correctly, has a really nasty ditch in it, like a tractor eating ditch. And now some of the ditching that I thought was around, I haven't seen, so maybe they got filled in, but I just want to be uber careful. Oh, that looks like it's, yep. Yeah, that was something right there. Wow. Some idiot left a big stone there. That wasn't there before. I don't know how many knives I lost just then. I might be taking back everything I said. This is pretty brutal. I don't think I have any more knives, and I don't think this is cutting. Yeah, I hit that, and this one just caught it with the edge of the mower, and that one I pulled right out of the ground. And they put those right in there, and there's a drainage tile in here, and right there's a paper wasp nest. Yeah, so good thing I have some old blades, because all the blades that I got when I bought the mower, which should have lasted, one set should have lasted this season, and the second set was for spares for next year, they're all gone. I just tore the blades, right? Broke them, bent them, tore them right off the mower. So good thing I got enough replacements. Wow, that sucks. Yeah, that's why doing fields like this isn't great. Yeah, they're just not even there. Ow. And it's bent up. Good thing I have these other blades. Yeah, they're not even, they're just gone. Wow. I hope they didn't shoot off and hit a tire or anything. I mean, Jesus. That would suck. Wow. All of them gone. 4. I just put those brand new ones, and I just put 2 new ones on here today. People and their stupid ideas. I suppose if you knew it was there, I suppose if you weren't haying the fields, then you would know. Here's one. It's just sheared off. That's completely sheared off. Yikes. Now some of that could be the quality of those blades. It was. Now I don't even have, oh, here's another one, sheared right off. Well, at least they're cheap and they're easy to change. This one has been sheared off. It's just, oh wow. It bent the keeper and everything. Oh wow, huh, damn it. Well, good thing it's robust. That's all I gotta say. Jeez, 3 bent blades are all that was left after that little debacle. All right, well, it's got 8 new blades on it now. Try not to hit anything else. Yikes. Good thing they're only a couple bucks a piece, the blades. But yeah, like I was saying, if that had been a disc mower, that'd be several $1,000s worth of parts. All right, let's get this show on the road again. I honestly don't know where to begin again. I guess I'll go back around. Just skip that whole section. Yep. So this is a problem I've got to address. Sometimes we let the trough overflow because the float valve isn't properly positioned. You can get a better float valve too, but I just have this temporarily rigged up like this. So sometimes the cows flip it out and it dumps. We turn it on because you can't see from the standpipe, because even though there's this standpipe in the field, we control it with a different standpipe at the moment. So I want to fix this and put some stone here and some ground mat. Because the other thing is the cows just stand here, drink, and urinate. So it makes a mess. So while the moisture is welcome this time of year, I don't want the mud, and I don't want the cows getting mud all over themselves standing there. So we're going to fix that soon.
Easiest thing to do one-handed. I'm out here tightening the calf fence so that we can give them a bit more grazing in an area that they needed to have been through before, but we just haven't gotten them here yet. We have this massive pumpkin. There's this massive pumpkin here we want to fence them off from because it's producing some really nice pumpkins. And I'd come through here, I had come through here and trimmed the line everywhere, but of course, that was probably a month ago.
Name that tune. All right, we're day 2 here at Karen's Fields, and I am raking. It's a little afternoon, got a late start because it's Sunday and it's a beautiful day, and I just don't want to do it, right? I mean, working 7 days a week, hour after hour, kind of sucks after a while. But that's what you do, because you make hay while the sun shines, so they say, and you got it. I cut this crop, I've got to get it baled because it's drying down, and I really don't want hay, I want silage, because the longer this sits, the drier it gets, the more nutrition cooks out of it. So I'm going to rake the whole 13 acres or whatever it is. I'm not going to bale it all today. I'm going to we'll see if I can hit 12 bales easily in a timely fashion, because that's practically, by the time I've got this raked and get back and pick up the baler and get back here, it's going to be 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock maybe. I can only haul 6 bales at a time, silage bales. In fact, I might, because it's a short distance and I'm only going to haul, I might up the size of the bales a little bit, like a few inches, and pack them a little denser. We'll try that today and see if I can actually make a couple less bales. If I can pack more in a bale, then I've got less bales to pick up, and it'll be better for the silage, but also less trips. If I can get 12 bales, that's 2 trips, round trips. It's going to take me about an hour, I estimate, per trip to get here with the trailer. Bring the baler back, pick up the trailer, come back here, load it, strap the bales down, get back there, unload the trailer, get back here. That all is going to do it twice. It's going to take me a couple hours, I think. And I don't want to, cut too late. If Allison can help me wrap, that'll save a little time back at the farm, but it's still, with just at the farm, 2 of us wrapping, in the space we have, using the skid steer to unload and the tractor to wrap, it's slow. It's not as fast as Greg and I were able to do it with 2 tractors in the field. And also, there we bunched the bale. We took the time to bunch the bales and had a bunch of bales and you could just feed the wrapper. It's a little bit different at the farm because of where we're wrapping in the driveway. There's not a lot of room to maneuver. And the driveway itself is humped in the middle and causes all kinds of problems with the skid steer. So, and we'll be tired and exhausted, and I just don't want to. So we're going to take a little bite of it today, and then I will come over here and just bale the hell out of it tomorrow. We're 13 acres. It's a marginal crop. This section here is really light. I would imagine we're, 2 bales to the acre at the most. Now maybe one section down there's got a little bit thicker, might be, 3 bales to the acre or thereabouts. So 26 bales is more than I could do by myself in a late day, and that would be pushing it. and because the wrapper is slow, that is the biggest holdup in all this. I can bale all this, no problem. If it was just dry hay and dry hay bales and I could pick them up tomorrow, that wouldn't be an issue. I would just do that, but I want the silage. It's more nutritious. I gotta wrap them anyway, so I might as well, because I don't have storage for dry hay at the moment, so might as well just enjoy the day, not stress, not push hard. We've got the weather. I don't think second cut's ready. I have one more 8-acre field of first cut to do, and it's not getting any more stale. It's, you know, it's just kind of sitting there dormant. It is what it is. If I don't get to that till later in the week, so be it. I've got plenty of other stuff I need to do, and instead of picking away at it here and there with a, you know, like today I moved the calves. You know, I had to take an hour to rig some fencing and get some lines up and test the fence and make sure it was good for calves. I really need to spend a couple hours getting the rest of their grazing area ready and get them set to move permanently, or well, for a little while, into the front field and give the back field and orchard a rest. And man, if we could get some rain, I would overseed the orchard with some millet and some oats and peas, something that is going to grow quickly right now in the heat. So yeah, I'm just not feeling like pushing it hard today. Don't need to. Yeah, it would be great to get this wrapped up in a day if I had help here in the field with a second tractor. Even if I had, you know, if I had a pull behind wrapper that I could just go through the field and collect the bales and wrap them and haul them to a central place as they're wrapping, I would totally do that. But that's way, way, way out of the budget. I can't even find a used one of those anywhere. So yeah, that's ooh, wow. Yeah, that isn't gonna happen. So gotta do what I gotta do. Just gonna go around this. Ow! Wow! Ooh! Ow! Wow! Holy cats, that was a wacky bump. I am seriously considering never doing this field again. Oh, wow. Yeah. Huh. That sucked. So I managed to get 3 bales in the ditch, basically. Fortunately, they didn't go all the way down the ravine. Some trees and brush stopped them. I'm getting one out right now. It was the probably easiest one to get. Oh no, I guess I got the easiest one. It had just rolled off and stopped at the side. This one was down a little bit in a tree, but tipped quite heavily. I tried using a ratchet strap, and that it rolled it on its end, which fortunately then didn't go into the ditch. So we'll get this out here. I'm gonna group the bales in groups of 6. I ended up baling 18 bales. We'll go ahead and dump that brush back in the ditch. And, oh no, it fell off. All right, never mind. I guess I gotta get out and deal with it. I gotta grab that ratchet strap anyway, because I'm gonna need it for the next one, I think. Because the next one is even worse. I'm not sure how I can get in there to get it. Oh, they would be rose bushes. Yeah, fortunately this alder stopped it before it went right down in. And the other one just rolled alongside
it's inevitable in a field like this where there are so many ditches and divots that something's going to happen. I wouldn't have been happy if I'd lost a bale after these fields are beating me up. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just got to grab that other one. Groups of 6, and then I can just pull a trailer closer by. I did mistie a bale. I don't know what happened. I was daydreaming or rocking out or something, and I left. I heard the beeps, and I failed to be paying attention to which set of beeps it was. And it was the beeps telling me, and I had just stopped, you know, because it beeps at you when the bale is the size you set. And I had just stopped and it was starting to tie. I heard the beeps. There's 8 beeps that I wait for the end of before I dump the bale. I found that waiting to the end of the 8 beeps makes for a tighter, better bale when it comes out. It's not, where is that one? It's over here. It's not quite as loosey-goosey and wispy on the ends. It's a little tighter and neater looking, and the twine is tight to the bale. So anyway, I heard a couple of beeps, waited a second, pulled it open. It turns out it was still in the tie cycle. It ejected the bale. I had to trim the twine. So I'm going to have to give that bale some special attention. I don't know. I'm running out of time here. I need to be getting going. Now, the question is, how safe is it for me to get in here under this apple tree? Can I do it? Stuff like this will drive you to drink. I can't get around the tree. There's a pricker bush, a steep decline on the backside. I'm just hoping that I can yard this out up here onto higher ground. Not sure if this is going to do it, and it may actually send it down into the ravine, but it's worth a shot. Nope, didn't work. Try again. Like I say, I don't have anything practical to be able to grab this with. I can't really, because of the apple tree, I can't get in here. I don't want to damage it. I don't want to damage the tractor. I don't want to end up in the ravine. I have to try. I got it sort of positioned uphill a little bit. I have to try from a different angle. If I had grapple or something else other than the forks, a couple of ratchet straps, I don't know. Maybe if I wasn't so tired, maybe if I had a second pair of eyes. I don't know. It's just ridiculous. Come off of there. Got it. Hopefully I didn't do any damage to anything other than the tree. A little bit of pruning won't go amiss. The bale isn't too badly messed up. All right, bale problem number 4. I got the 3 out of the ditch. They didn't fall in the ravine. Now I got this mess. I didn't tie it. Dumped it before the tying was done. It got some twine on it, but not enough to hold it together. So I'm gonna see if I can put some bale wrap around it to kind of contain it better.
Well, maybe that'll keep it together enough to get it on the trailer and get it off. It'll be one of the last bales I pick up. So it is now something like 8:30, and I'm back at a home farm, starting to wrap bales. Well, it's 9 o'clock, and I'm wrapped 7 bales so far. I've had nothing but problems with the bale wrap. Greg and I had problems with the bale wrap the other day when we were out in the field. It kept tearing. Turns out it's 5 years old. I bought it for a premium, and it had been stored outside in the weather, and then I had to store it last winter because I bought too much, because I thought I was buying ahead. I thought I was being smart. But every single roll we've tried to use this year has had issues tearing, breaking, and we had to back way off on the tension, so these aren't even getting wrapped to the right tension. So I have one left in the box. Hopefully it'll work tonight. They wrap an average of 20 bales. I have 2, maybe 3 more rolls that aren't in the box that are going to give me problems. I know that for sure. I need to buy some more. That's just the bottom line. And I think I can get it online for $94 a tube. Roll, whatever. Yeah, that's what I gotta do. Wrapping away. I'm happy to announce that the extra size bales and the extra weight aren't causing the wrapper any problems. And the wrapping, when they wrap, I am having the silage wrap problem, but otherwise, oh, I just put a bale in my way. Oops. Yeah, if the bale had gone there, I could have gotten around, but there's logs right there, so there's no way without moving the bale. Maybe once I've dumped that on the skids, on the bale wrapper, I can move that bale out of my way and still use this back way, because it's a lot easier. Going that way with the skid steer, and I don't have to worry about skipping a track off the machine. I have space to build a yard where we could do this. The only problem is, in my head, with this trailer and the number of the number of 6 bale trips, to get to where the wrapping yard might go and jostle around in there, I think it's going to take too long right now. Until I get a bigger trailer and I can just, if I could haul all these in one load, boom, done. Unload it with the grapple and put them on a wrapper straight away. That, I could then use the wrapping yard area down by the barn. But right now, it was all I could do to do 3 loads. And the turnaround time was already kind of too, in the field it wasn't bad. I felt like I was making a lot of time, picking the bales up, put them on the trailer, get the trailer hooked back up to the tractor, and away I went. But here, having it back in and then pulled partway across the driveway, which also blocks the driveway, and then unload the bales. I stacked them a couple high right here, so they were also kind of in my way for wrapping. And then I got a final trailer load. I still have to disconnect, but it's sitting there and it's ready to go, and it's out of the way. So it's pretty tidy and handy right here, except for the fact that this little strip is kind of narrow. If I get these logs out of the way, maybe I should just move these damn logs, and then I'd have a lot more room. But we also kind of wanted to fence this little paddock up here for calves. And so wrapping up against that might not be good. Yeah, there's a lot of things we got to figure out. But this is only the second season, so move too close. I can't get out of the skid steer.